The god of mischief and the god of thunder are finally on a collision course once again. But this isn't the reunion you remember from the colorful fields of Norway. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is currently standing on the precipice of total annihilation as Dr. Doom prepares to rewrite the very fabric of reality across the vast, infinite multiverse. While the Avengers scramble to defend what remains of their timelines, a cosmic shift is bringing the two most iconic brothers in cinematic history back together for one final, desperate stand. This isn't just a simple meeting of heroes, but a spiritual and physical convergence that has been building since the tragic events of Infinity War left Thor mourning his fallen brother. In Avengers Doomsday, the stakes have evolved far beyond simple survival because the man holding the power of creation is a variant of the very face they once called a friend. Victor Von Doom has ascended to a level of power that dwarfs even the Infinity Gauntlet, leaving Thor and the remaining heroes in a position of absolute, soul-crushing vulnerability and fear. But deep within the void of the collapsing multiverse, a familiar green shimmer is beginning to manifest, signaling the return of the one being who truly understands the nature of gods. Loki, now the keeper of stories and the living heart of the multiverse, has been watching from his throne at the end of time, holding the golden branches together with pure will. He has spent literal centuries in isolation, sacrificing his own freedom to ensure that every soul in the cosmos has a chance to exist, even as his own heart remained heavy. When Thor finally catches sight of his brother, he won't be looking at the trickster who tried to conquer Earth, but a literal god of gods who has surpassed every expectation. The emotional weight of this moment is designed to shatter the audience because Thor has spent years carrying the guilt of Loki's death at the hands of the mad Titan Thanos. Seeing Loki not only alive, but serving as the ultimate guardian of reality will force Thor to confront the reality of his own failures and the growth of his younger sibling. The dialogue between them will likely be sparse, but deeply profound, focusing on the heavy price they have both paid to protect a world that often fears their immense, celestial power. Loki has become the very thing Thor always believed he could be, a selfless protector who puts the needs of the many above his own personal desires for glory and fame. As they stand together against the looming shadow of doom, the dynamic shifts from older brother and wayward sibling to two equals facing the literal end of every single existence. This reunion is the emotional anchor of the entire film, providing a sense of hope in a narrative that is otherwise defined by darkness, destruction, and the ultimate loss of control. Before we dive deeper into how this reunion changes the fate of the MCU, make sure to like this video and share it with every Marvel fan you know across the internet. Subscribe to Hollywood Talks right now to stay updated on every single theory and breakdown regarding the massive impact of Avengers Doomsday and the future of our favorite cosmic heroes. The theory suggests that Loki will be the one to guide Thor through the chaotic landscape of Battle World, using his unique perspective of the timelines to navigate the traps set by Doom. Thor's raw power and Loki's infinite knowledge create the perfect synergy needed to exploit them. Small, hidden cracks in Dr. Doom's seemingly perfect and indestructible new world order. There is a tragic beauty in the fact that Loki, the man who once sought a throne, now sits on the only one that actually matters while remaining completely and utterly alone. Thor's arrival at the center of the multiverse represents the first piece of genuine human connection Loki has experienced since he took his place at the center of the World Tree. The script for this encounter is rumored to be one of the most guarded secrets in Marvel history, designed to provide closure for a relationship that defined the first decade. We are looking at a scenario where Thor may have to choose between saving his brother from his eternal burden or saving the rest of the survivors from Doom's Iron Fist. Loki knows that if he leaves his post to help Thor in the physical realm, the branches of reality could wither and die, killing trillions of people in an instant of time. This creates a high-stakes emotional vacuum where the two brothers must decide if their love for each other is worth risking the stability of every universe they have ever known. Doom likely views Loki as his only true rival, seeing the god of stories as a primitive version of what he has become through science, sorcery, and the theft of power. The visual contrast between Thor's lightning and Loki's gold and temporal energy will create some of the most stunning imagery ever put on screen in the history of the superhero genre. As the battle for existence reaches its climax, the brothers will realize that their bond is the only thing Doom cannot replicate or understand with his cold, calculating, and logical mind. The emotional resonance of this reunion is further heightened by the presence of other variants who remind Thor of everything he has lost during his long and very painful journey. Seeing a version of Iron Man that looks like Tony Stark but acts like a tyrant will push Thor to the breaking point, making Loki's steady presence even more vital for him. Loki has seen every possible outcome of this war, and he knows that the path to victory requires a sacrifice that neither of them may be truly ready to make today. The breakdown of their interaction reveals a level of maturity in Thor that we haven't seen since the early days of the franchise, showing a king who is finally at peace. Loki's transformation from a villain into the literal savior of all things is the greatest character arc in the MCU, and Thor is the only person who can truly appreciate it. When they finally embrace, it won't just be for themselves, but for the fans who have followed their journey from the first film in 2011 to this epic, multiversal conclusion. The stakes of Avengers Doomsday are personal, cosmic, and eternal, and the reunion of the Odinsons is the heartbeat that keeps the story moving forward against the ticking clock of doom. Every word spoken between them will carry the weight of 1,000 years of history, rivalry, love, and the shared trauma of losing their home, their parents, and their very identity. As Doom's fortress looms over the horizon, the brothers stand side by side, ready to prove that the bond of family is stronger than any multiversal threat or scientific godhood. This moment will define the legacy of the MCU, proving that even at the end of the world, there is still room for redemption, forgiveness, and the love of a brother. The theory of their reunion isn't just about fan service, but about completing the narrative loop that started when a golden prince and a silver-tongued trickster first sought their father's approval. Now, as fathers of their own destinies, they stand as the final line of defense against a man who would turn the entire multiverse into a monument to his own massive ego. Stay tuned as we continue to track every leak and update regarding this legendary encounter that will change everything we know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its future. The journey of Thor and Loki is far from over, but in Avengers Doomsday, it reaches a peak that will leave audiences breathless and crying in theaters all around the world. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss a breakdown of these massive cinematic events that are reshaping the landscape of modern storytelling and blockbuster filmmaking today. The God of Thunder and the God of Stories are coming home, and the multiverse will never be the same once these two legends finally share the screen one last time. The battle for reality is here, and only the brothers from Asgard have the heart to face the darkness of doom with the light of their shared, unbreakable, and eternal legacy.